Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you. Let's get right into this thing. All right, got a recruiting update. Who is hot and who is ice cold? Yeah, we've got some teams that are killing it and some that they need to get off the snide because they are struggling something awful. Now, one of the reasons I wanted to cover recruiting is because my team finally got in the top 10. I've been waiting for this for a while. Man, it's hard. I'm telling you, man, it's tough these days to get in the top 10. Well, let's not waste time. Let's get into who's number one. Georgia, 30 commits, 21 4-stars, a 92.27 average. So that average is a little bit low for them, even though they're sitting at number one. Now, the reason that is because a lot of teams are going to be going to 30 and 35 recruits instead of 20 and 25 because we have 105 scholarships to deal with, not 85. So everybody's going to be 30 to 35. And that means they're going to bring in a lot more 3-stars because of value.
Okay.
The 3-star guy will come for a scholarship and maybe a stipend or something like that, but he's not going to be asking for big money, whereas the 4 and 5 stars, we know what they're going to want. So Georgia at number one, no shock. Let's see who's at number two. All right, there's USC, 32 commits, 92 points. That's a good average for USC. They've obviously decided to go all in for Lincoln Riley. He has not performed very well out there at USC, and he's probably on the hot seat, honestly, even though they owe him a lot of money. Now, granted, he thought he was going into a fairly easy conference. He did not, when he was at Oklahoma, he did not want to go in the SEC, so he hightailed it out to the West Coast and left Oklahoma in a bad spot.
Brave Sir Robin ran away. No! Bravely ran away. I didn't!
But now he's in the Big Ten. He's got to play a lot of really good teams. So I don't know how well it hadn't worked out for him. But anyway, they're at number two, so maybe they're trying to give him a chance. All right, now we got Texas A&M. This is a team that can't get out of the 8-4 category. They just live in 8-4. It's been that way for years, even before Jimbo was there. And they have great recruiting. They have unlimited oil money, all of that stuff. But 8-4 will get you fired at Texas A&M. You can ask Jimbo Fisher. They got to pay that guy $76 million, and I knew he was toast. When he didn't go for it on 4th and half a yard against Alabama, they had the lead. They were on the 50-yard line, and he punted. I knew he was toast.
This man is a coward. Coward. Say it with your chest. Good.
Yeah, Texas A&M fan base would not forgive him for that, and they still got $76 million as a consolation prize, which isn't too bad. Anyway, that's Texas A&M. Mike Elko, don't go 8-4 again. Here comes Alabama. Oh, my gosh, 5 stars. That is just sickening. 5 stars, almost a 93 average. Kalen DeBoer's killing it down there. Man, oh, man. Folks, can you imagine how sick and tired Auburn is of Alabama? Auburn's had 3 losing seasons in a row. Alabama's down there bitch bragging about going 9-3 and how distraught they are. Auburn's just really got to be sick of them.
Damn it, butthead! You're a butthole, and you suck!
Beavis, thank you for being honest with me.
Yeah, I'd say that's about how Auburn feels. Anyway, they're absolutely killing it. I mean, that's just 5 stars. That's just sickening. Look, they're at number 4 with only 21 commits. Everybody above them, 27, 32, 30, so they're in great shape. Let's move on down to number 5. Here's Notre Dame. 3 5 stars. Boy, I'm telling you, NIL has changed things so dramatically for them. And, of course, they've got an alumni fan base that is just monster. It goes all over the country. So money is not a problem for them. It is hard to get into Notre Dame, but with that, it's changed things a lot. Brian Kelly, you shouldn't have left. You didn't realize how good it was going to get. He went to LSU because he knew recruiting would be great down there. He didn't realize that NIL was going to change everything. Notre Dame's sitting perfect. And the only thing that irritates me about them is they won't join a conference. They're just too good for that.
Ew! Get off of me! Ugh, as if.
Just join the Big Ten. You know you'd be the perfect fit. They won't do it. Go figure. All right, here comes Texas. 21 commits, 3 stars. Their average is below 92. That's surprising to me. I don't know, Sark is, he may be having to spend so much money on the players that he's got on his team that he didn't have any choice. You got Arch Manning, who's the $6 million man. Yeah, dude's making $6 million bucks. That's a lot. They're supposedly spending $40 million on this team this year. So that may be why they're God, they got unlimited money, though. Who knows? They may just be chilling out, giving Texas A&M a break. Ohio State sitting at number 7. That's not a good spot for them. Normally they're top 5, 92 average. Ryan Day's probably back on the hot seat, although you'd think he'd get a little break. And he will up until the Michigan game. They're the one team in the Big Ten that last year had a top 10 schedule. They play some tough games this year. The toughest thing for them is replacing their offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. Was it Knowles went to Penn State and Chip Kelly went to the pros? I think he went to the Raiders. That's my team. Raiders suck. That's going to be the tough thing for Ohio State. Plus, they got to replace their quarterback. They do have the 5-star that they stole from Alabama in a midnight raid, along with Caleb Downs, best defender in the country. They got the best defender in the country and the best wide receiver. I think you'll be okay, Ohio State. Just beat Michigan. Oregon is killing it. They've only got 16 commits. They're in the top 10. They have a 90. That's the best average in the country, 94.14. They got Nike money. I think they've got that Oracle money. That's not an easy place to recruit. Not a lot of people want to move way out to Oregon, but if you do that, they will. And they're doing a great job. Dan Lanning's a fine coach. They're fine. They were number 1 almost all year last year until they ran into that buzzsaw in the playoff, which was OSU. Here's Tennessee in the top 10. I'm very pleased with this. Got their average up to a 9. Look, we live at 91. We've done that for years. But that's even better this year because we are taking on some 3-stars because of the 30 and 35 deal. 2 5-stars. We just picked up another 5-star yesterday. No, it's 2 days ago. And that's Moa. Now, it's showing him as a 4-star, but he is a 5-star in the composite, and then a bunch of good 4-stars. The Joel Wyatt kid, I think he committed just a few days ago as well. So the Vols are on a nice run right now. That's how they got in the top 10. All right, LSU, only 16 commits, but look at that average. Second best average at 93.67, 2 5-stars, 12 4-stars. The key to LSU's season is the very first game against Clemson. For whatever reason, LSU has really struggled with the first game. They've lost 3 in a row. Brian Kelly's beside himself over it.
And we're sitting here again. We're sitting here again talking about the same things.
They've got to get off to a good start because you cannot lose an out-of-conference game right off the bat and then go through their schedule, which is tough, and make that playoff very easily. It's going to be difficult. So that game is critical. Here comes Michigan. Again, that's a decent average, 91 solid. Michigan's got plenty of money. Their big problem is they've got their dreaded NCAA decision coming very soon, and I think they're about to get what's coming to them. That whole deal with Connor Stallions and all of that. Oh, and I've got to let you know about the debate. I'll let you know about that at the end of this. With one Carolina Jackpot, we'll be talking about that. But I don't know about Michigan. I think they're going to get a bowl ban. I think the Natty is up in the air. I mean, technically, they should lose it. I mean, how can you have a guy on your sideline that's stealing signs?
Allegedly.
When we could see it with our own eyes. And allow them to keep all those wins. And if you vacate the wins, don't you got to take the Natty and the other championships? Anyway, they're sitting at number 11, that's decent. But, boy, they're really up in the air what's going to happen to them. Oh, there's Miami. Again, that's a nice solid average, 91, 22 commits, sitting at number 12. That's number 1 in the ACC, by the way, which is what they need to be concerned about, which tells you a lot about the ACC. Honestly, I told you yesterday, I think that conference is going to get gutted by 2030. And Miami might end up with a Big 12. I swear, I don't know that they have enough fan-base participation to satisfy the SEC and the Big Ten. I watched a game against Duke last year with them. Miami was undefeated. The stadium was half full. If that were one of the big-time teams, I mean, can you imagine Tennessee being 8-0 or Alabama or Ohio State, Penn State? I mean, it'd be crazy. 8-0, they're playing Duke, who only had 2 losses at the time. It was a huge game. Nobody's there. So that hurts them getting into a big conference. If they do, they may stay in the ACC, though, and after 2030. They could certainly dominate at that point because FSU, North Carolina, Clemson, probably Virginia, they're gone. A lot of people have been talking about Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's been on the they've been on the rise, but I don't know if the SEC or the Big Ten would go after them or not. But people have been mentioning them. There's Clemson, number 13, so they're number 2 in the ACC. They're real solid. They live around 91, just like Tennessee and Miami. They're solid. Dabo's doing a fine job there. Here's Florida State at 90. That's fine. Number 3 in the ACC. They've got to get off the snide. This is the team that is bipolar. Undefeated, then go 2-10. That's just, I've never seen a team do that.
Jeez, you don't have to be a dick about it.
They'll play much better this year. They got to play Alabama in that first game, and that Castellanos guy's been running his jaw. Oh, Alabama cannot wait for that game. Woo! Man, they're gonna bring it. Florida, all right. Billy Napier sitting there. That's a nice average, 91.5. Very nice. Only 18 commits, 15th. They're fine. That's a good average. Florida, you know, they'll end up probably somewhere between 10 and 12. Here's Penn State. They do solid recruiting. It's not great, but it's okay. Washington. Here's North Carolina with old Bill Belichick, 26 3-stars, 7 4-stars, 88 average. I thought he'd do a little better than that, but Bill doesn't like to pay people. As you know, he wouldn't pay Tom Brady $25 million a year.
What?
And he winds up going down to Tampa Bay and wins another natty. That was the dumbest thing. Can you imagine? Wouldn't pay Tom Brady $25 million, and there was quarterbacks in the NFL making 35 that couldn't smell doing what Tom Brady did. And that just, what about loyalty? Guy wins you all those world championships and you, I don't know, Bill,
It's so dumb.
It's so dumb, it's brilliant.
No! It's just dumb.
I'm not sold on him. I'm sorry. I'm just not. And then you go down. Here's UCLA. There's Nico's team, 19 3-stars, 88 average. He had to go where there's a lot of talent. See, he was not happy with the talent that was surrounding him. So that's why he chose UCLA. Plus, to be home, you know, and all that. So it's makes sense. They were 118th in offense last year. Anyway, here's South Carolina. Now, it looks like they're not doing great, but they're fine. They got a 91 average. That's solid. They've only got 14 commits. Old Shane Beamer, he's doing okay, I guess. Here's Syracuse. Will be playing them right off the bat. They're at 87 average. You know, that's about where they live. Here's old. Don't worry about Ole Miss. They're the transfer portal king with old Lane Kiffin. They're fine. Here's Texas Tech. I'm surprised. Well, they got unlimited money too. Illinois, old Brett Bielema, 88. Here's Arkansas. Man, they got to get off the snide too. 87 average. I think Bobby Petrino will be the head coach next year. He's the coach in waiting for sure. Pittman, I don't like his chances. Here comes old Indiana, schedule strength king. They're sitting at 29th, 87.7 average. There's old Michigan State. You'd think they'd recruit better than that. I'm surprised. They should have a lot of money up there. They should be taking advantage of Michigan's problems. See, there's Georgia Tech, 87. I don't understand Oklahoma at an 88.6. Old Venables better turn it on because that's not going to get it done. Oklahoma's a blue blood. They will not tolerate poor recruiting. And they've got a really good blue chip ratio, so they shouldn't be struggling like they are. So I don't know what's going on with Oklahoma. I really don't. Pitt, here's Arizona State. They're going to be good this year. They got a great quarterback. Mississippi State has 26 3-stars, no 4. How? There's good players in Mississippi. Ole Miss isn't getting them. Why are you not picking up at least a couple of 4? That's just impossible. Jeez. Leby, you're in trouble, buddy. Here's Vanderbilt, 17 3-stars, 1 4-star. That's about par for the course. I don't know about you, Diego. I don't think you're going to be running the state of Tennessee like you've been bragging about.
Vanderbilt's going to run Tennessee after this year.
Now we got to hit the dreaded load more, which I just did. Oh, there's Kentucky. Ice cold, baby. 87.8 average. Mark Stoops. You know, a lot of coaches are born on third base. I don't know where. I guess he was born on first base. What's worse than first base? He's done a good job there up until last year. I just cannot understand why they won't spend some money on football when they spend unlimited on basketball. But here's what I'll tell you. Whenever somebody covers basketball up in Kentucky, they get a ton of attention, views, all that. They start covering football. Yeah, it's a struggle. So it just boils down to the fact that Kentucky basketball rules and football is the ugly stepsister.
Well, that's a very offensive way to put it.
Anyway, they're ice cold. Let's see here. Who else we got down here that's ice cold? Hugh Freeze. 89 average. How? That is just, I mean, they are, and I know Hugh's out there playing golf constantly, but I'm telling you, the Auburn fan base is getting ticked off. They're tired of this. They're not going to put up with him out there golfing every day much longer.
You will not make this putt, you jackass.
Much longer. He'd better turn it up. Of course, he's probably dealing with practice now, so I guess he could play afterwards in the evening. He'd better focus on some recruiting, unless he's thinking this might be his last year. I mean, his buyout wouldn't be too bad. And Tennessee fans, they've got Josh Heupel #1 on their list. I'm hearing that. And they've already taken one Tennessee basketball coach. Granted, he was available. So, anyway, ice cold. And then on down the list here. In Missouri, I don't know what's happening with Eli. That's not even a good average. That makes no sense to me. They've been winning like crazy, too. He's winning 9-10 games a year. Makes no sense. Here's Colorado. Dion has been going through a lot. Nobody knew what all he was going through. So I'm not going to give him any grief over recruiting. Jeez, So there you go on recruiting. Just a little update on everything. I thought it'd be a good time to take a look-see at that. Also, I want to give you an update on the big debate. Looks like it's going to be the 15th at 9 p.m. We'll be having the debate between myself and Carolina Jackpot, all about the sign-stealing accusation that South Carolina may very well have had Tennessee signs, allegedly, back in 2022 when they knocked them out of the playoff, and they also knocked Clemson out of the playoff. We've talked a lot about that. A lot of people, especially me, think that they had our signs and that Connor Stallions had gotten them those signs because he loves doing crap like that. He bragged about it all the time. Anyway, we're going to hash that out, and I think they're going to have a poll so you, as viewers, will be able to participate and vote as to who wins or who loses the debate. So that should make it a lot of fun to watch and to participate. So that's a really good idea by the Ramblin' Wreck, who's the moderator of that, and it's a Georgia Tech. He's a Georgia Tech guy, and he's comfortable doing that sort of video. Now, I'll be updating you as we get closer to it, so don't worry about that. Anyway, everybody needs to show up. That includes the South Carolina people and the Michigan people that have been hate watching me. You need to show up too.
I dare ya.
We'll get a big crowd for this, and then we'll have it out. Should be very interesting.
You tell them I'm coming, and hell's coming with me, you hear? Hell's coming with me!
Oh, yeah. I'm definitely going to show up. Anyway, if you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. Let's continue to cover all these big college sports stories. If you've not subscribed, boom, boom, boom. Hit that little button right there. It won't cost you a dime. And right over here is the most recent video YouTube thinks you'll enjoy based on your viewing history. We'll see you next time on Sports Talk J.